everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can start placing your pre-orders for these books that come out in a few months. We're kind of into the January, February time, so things are getting a little bit more on track.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a full show like this, and it's like we said, couple holidays in a row kind of messed some things up, but yeah, everything's starting to come back together now. We've got a mostly normal show for next Monday.
Yep.
So books are starting to come out again. Things are on FOC again. So
hopefully you enjoyed your break.
Yeah, right.
And you're a little bit of help to your wallet because that is soon about to end.
Yep.
But this is a pretty jam-packed show with some really, really cool stuff. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off with our Prime comic pre-orders.
And we're going to start with Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon #1. Now, this is going to be a 4-issue miniseries written by Chip Zdarsky. The art is by Luca Maresca. And this is, I guess, one of the earliest books that are going to somehow connect to the Armageddon event that's starting, I was going to say next summer. This summer. This summer in Marvel Comics. We still don't know what that story is going to be yet, but we know it's going to, we know it's going to involve Captain America. We don't know anything about it, so don't listen to me. But in this story, an old acquaintance drags Logan into the search for a new abducted mutant subject, and during that search, he learns that the Weapon X program, which was supposed to be shut down, is actually alive and well, and he's going to follow the scent of the feral Tyler, and I'm not sure who that is. And the scent of his own trauma.
Supposed to be feral tiger, and
it
you
says,
just wrote Tyler.
No, because I copied this out of the solicitation.
Okay.
But Wolverine finds himself in a deadly race against a super soldier creating corporation called Prime Warrior, and that leads him into conflict with Nuke, which you can see there on the cover. And then there's also ties to the character David Colton from the first from Chip Zdarsky's first story arc in his Captain America run. So there's a big question. I still don't even really know, even after reading this, what is this series really about? But we do know that there's going to be some seeds planted here for the upcoming Armageddon event. We're going to talk about Captain America, I think number 7 or 8, a little bit later in the show, and that's going to have some seeds as well. And of course, all this is kind of springing from the end of One World Under Doom and on into the Will of Doom,
and maybe a little bit from Ultimate Incursion or whatever.
Oh, Spider-Man Ultimate Incursion?
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion.
Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion with
maybe.
Because those kind of were hinted at on one of the promo art.
Yeah, maybe.
From whatever I'm getting from here, it does seem like that there's new heroes being created or something. It feels like the earliest rumblings of this place that's into making maybe some new versions of kind of Weapon X type things. I don't know, but I really liked that we don't know. I like these little piecemeal. We're not just oh, this is going to be the story and here's the villain and here's all this. It's I like this discovering, figuring out what elements of each of these stories are the important ones to build this Armageddon story.
And I know there's, especially when we talk about Marvel events, there's always a little bit of a dark cloud over them. They don't always have the best reputation. But darn it, every single time they announce one, I get excited. Because I want to know more about that. I want to check it out. I want to see how it plays out. So
Chip Zdarsky, though.
It's Chip Zdarsky, yes.
You can rely on it to be a good read.
Yeah. So when it comes to this Armageddon event, I feel like we will get our first major taste of it on Free Comic Book Day, or as Marvel calls it, Comic Book Giveaway Day, coming on May 2nd, where one of those books is actually sort of a preview tease of the Armageddon event. So I think May 2nd is when we'll get our first major taste of that event. But until then, we have books like this. We have books like Captain America. And I'm very interested to see, how it all builds and watch these stories form and kind of coalesce together. So don't miss this if you're interested in all that. So this is our A cover. There's a Chip Zdarsky variant, which looks really good. There's a Dan Panosian foil cover.
I have already pre-ordered this one. I can't wait to see what the foil of it looks like.
I'm probably going to have to get that one too. There's a Dave Raposa variant and a Rose Besh variant.
Yeah, very interesting that, again, we don't have a lot of information given, but I like everything that we do know so far.
Yeah.
Well, next up, we've got another tie-in with DCKO. This is DCKO, The Kids Are All Fight special. And this is really fun because we have already read this issue. We got an early preview copy of it, and this issue is a blast. So this is by Jeremy Adams, and the art is by Travis Mercer. Can John Kent stop Granny Goodness? That's the broad picture of it. John Kent always wanted to be a Titan when he grew up, but now that he's working alongside them in an effort to evacuate Earth, he didn't think he'd be stuck babysitting young sidekicks. And he's kind of left with some of the sidekicks that we saw from the
Stargirl,
and the Lost sidekicks or whatever. That we really haven't seen too much of, but it didn't really take me long to kind of learn about these few that are in this, and I thought it was really interesting. But when the kids sneak off to enter the fray and stop Granny Goodness, John will have to show these young heroes the ropes so they can save the day and prove there's no age requirement to being a superhero. What I can tell you about this one is there are a lot of surprises. There are a lot of surprise characters that show up in here. Not a surprise that you see on the cover, but John Kent does get help from Cassandra Cain.
Yeah. That is a great team up, and that made me think like that could be like the next generation's World's Finest. Like, that made me think I never even thought about pairing the two of them together before, but now it's like I want a mini series of them, like a World's Finest mini series, but with those two because they're great in this.
And it's funny. I don't want to give it away, like where she is and stuff when he goes to recruit her, but it's all this is going on while the Earth is being turned into a new apocalypse, and he's trying to find these kids. And Cassandra Cain definitely is like, why are you asking me to do this? But like I said, there's some cameos in here, and this does seem like they're setting up. We have heard rumors and hints, and it's pretty much been confirmed, but we don't know much about it, that there's going to be a new Teen Titans book coming later this year. This could set up some of that. There's, a pretty strong final page that kind of looks like a team. So this is really, really fun.
Well, and even this, we were, if I can find it real quick, we were talking about, this kind of sets up like, so Titans number 33 that comes out in March is getting retitled New Titans. And you can see John Kent there on the cover and some other characters. So this, I feel like, leads into that as well. So
Yeah. So this is really fun. It is just a one-shot. It is, it's not like during the tournament. None of these characters are in the tournament. But again, it shows you a really fun, like, hey, what's going on? Because we know that like some of the agents of Apocalypse, some of Darkseid's Furies and Granny Goodness are attacking Earth at the same time. And so this deals with a lot of that stuff. It's a blast.
This is a DCKO tie-in, but it's probably one of the lesser important tie-ins, maybe the least important tie-in. But again, it's just one issue, and it's really fun. And again, John Kent, Cassandra Cain together, the other characters as well. Like, it's still worth a read for sure.
Yep. So we've got our A cover right here. We have a Chrissy Zulo cover. You can see some of your other characters that are in there, including Roy Harper's daughter, and I don't forget what his name is. Quiz?
Kid quiz, whiz kid,
yeah, something
kid,
like
quiz
that.
Kid, isn't it? Quiz kid,
Quiznos.
Yeah, maybe.
Subs. He's really fun in this.
He's always eating sandwiches all the time.
We also have this Joe Quinones cover. That's really fun. We've got a Todd Knock, who was the artist on that that Stargirl series that introduced a lot of these characters, and there is a Junie Ba cover.
Well, next we have Bug Wars, the Spider Witch special. Now, this is a one-shot that kind of follows on the heels of the first volume of Bug Wars. This is from Jason Aaron, and the art is by Baldemar Rivas and Mahmoud Asrar and Matt Wilson. And this one is going to focus on the Spider Witches that we did see a little bit of in the first volume of Bug Wars. Through the many eyes of the Spider Witches of Weird Web, the most mysterious, seductive, and feared denizens of this twisted ecosystem, that being basically just the backyard that this whole thing takes place in. But, when Volume 1 of Bug Wars ended, there were some, like, loose threads with the Spider Witches here.
Some loose spider threads.
Yeah, some loose webs, I guess. And we did see that they were a little bit mystical in nature. So hopefully this will answer
Yeah.
some of those questions. But yeah, so this is just a one shot, but we do know that we're getting another volume,
Mhm.
another story arc of Bug Wars. I don't know when.
It's not too long into this year that we're going to be
Okay.
getting that.
I don't think it's
And
been like officially solicited yet, though,
no,
right?
it's not been
Yeah.
officially solicited, but like I think even maybe it has a title or something.
Okay. Yeah.
But from what I remember hearing, that this one shot is not going to be collected in the
Anything.
volume two
Yeah.
once that comes out. So if you are reading Bug Wars, you'll definitely want to get this. Even if you're collecting it like by trade wise, because
Yeah.
this will kind of be the glue in between the two volumes.
Yeah. Still grab this because it won't be anywhere else.
I always love these Wytch spiders.
Yeah.
They gave me vibes of like in like Forgotten Realms and stuff, like the drow
Yeah.
community that's like female led and they're
Yeah.
kind of dark sorcerers and stuff. That was one of my favorite aspects of the first volume of Bug Wars, so I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So this is our A cover, and there's a Michael Avon Omen cover also.
There's a couple other covers that weren't ready yet.
Oh, okay.
So just keep checking back to infinityflux.net as we get closer to Sunday when all your orders need to be in. But yeah, I forgot. I think there's a Tululote cover, and then there is a spicy Asrar cover for this as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So very interesting. Next up, we have one of our next big X books that is going to be launching. We're kind of getting into that post
Age of Revelation.
Age of Revelation, Shadows of Tomorrow, or whatever it's called, where they
Well, not kind of. I mean, that's going to start next week.
Yeah,
X-Men 23 and Wolverine number 14, which both come out next week. We'll be talking about them on Monday. But yeah, that'll give us our first look at what does it look like now that Age of Revelation is over. I can't imagine it'll be much different for most characters because they weren't involved. Like Wolverine,
they don't really know what happened.
But Cyclops in the X-Men book, that's the one I'm really looking forward to.
So this was one of the new books that was solicited and announced for this new era of the X-Men. Magik and Colossus. This is by Ashley Allen and Jermaine Peralta. This is your creative team from the Magik series that I know a lot of people were upset. It kind of got cut short, but it looks like it kind of evolved into this. So the mutant siblings reunite. Ileana Rasputin, the cynical sorceress with powers harnessed from the dark realm of Limbo. Pyotr Rasputin, made of metal with a heart of gold. Blah blah blah. You know about the two characters. It looks like they're going to be returning to their mother country. They discover ancient monsters from Russian folklore preying on the innocent, and that gives me a lot of vibes of like old X-Men stories.
Yeah.
Where they like, you had one of the early after Giant Size X-Men. When you had them go to Sean Cassidy Banshee's home, and they fought like leprechauns and stuff, like or the Demon Bear saga, like X-Men dealing with like folklore is actually a pretty like common trait of X-Men stories. So the creatures are preying on the innocent. Can these two mutant siblings set aside their differences to save their country? And like it said, a story full of epic fights, mysticism, and family drama. I love these two characters.
Yeah,
like
same.
these are two of my favorite X-Men characters, so I'm very excited about this.
Colossus is my number 2 favorite X-Man, and I feel like he just hasn't been around in the last few years.
No.
So I'm excited to see him back in this limelight.
I mean, even during the Krakoan age and stuff, he really didn't. He appeared in the background of stuff, but yeah, it's time for Colossus to make a big comeback. Yeah. So we've got our A cover here by David Nakayama. We have a Villalobos cover, which is very nice. We've got a Simone DeMeo cover. That's awesome. And we have a Scotty Young cover. I like how these two are very similar, but just...
But also wildly different.
Through different lenses.
This is Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant #1. So this is a new Storm book coming in the Shadows of Tomorrow era. This is from Maria A. Waddell, who was the writer of the previous Storm run and also the Rogue Storm during the Age of Revelation event, and the art is by Federica Mancini. And it says the most dangerous war in existence thunders louder and closer, but Storm is unaware of it because she's turning her attention back towards Earth to become its protector once more. In this first issue, she shares a Japanese tea ceremony with an enemy, and she visits France for a masquerade with monsters, but it all ends in a gut-wrenching funeral because Mistress Death is never far behind. And with death stalking the shadows, expect bloodshed, brutality, barbarism, and bold emotion. So, you Storm fans, I know there's a lot of fans of the previous Storm series before it went into Age of Revelation. So don't miss out on this new #1. And
a lot of these books do kind of feel like evolutions, like kind of like phase 2 of their respective books. Pretty much because you have the same creative teams on a lot of them.
And some of these are miniseries and some are ongoing. I think this one's an ongoing.
I don't remember if Magik and Colossus. I think it's a miniseries.
Yeah, I feel like that one was a miniseries and this one's an ongoing. But we're not 100% sure. Marvel doesn't always make it super obvious on these.
Not until you get like a couple issues in.
So this is our A cover. There's a Daikruan variant. There is a Juan Frigeri Black Panther variant.
I love that one because that's one of my favorite eras of Black Panther.
A Marvel Cosmic Invasion variant and a Pablo Villalobos variant.
Well, next up, a really fun sounding one. This is Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four. This is by Josh Trujillo and Andrea DeVito. And it just says, worlds collide, witness history as the Fantastic Four cross paths with very first time with Cornelius, Zira, Ursula, and of course Dr. Zaius. But they won't be going alone. Familiar foes from the Marvel Universe have set their sights on Ape City, setting the stage for a battle royal that fans won't soon forget.
I wonder if that villain is Doctor Doom, who's right there on the cover.
I hope it's Red Ghost.
Oh,
who has his own ape.
His super apes,
his super apes. Because they're going to get there and they're like, oh, maybe we should just hang out here. This seems like a good place for us.
If they don't do that, huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, because that's Fantastic Four villains right there. I am more interested in seeing some of the villains interact with them, like Mole Man. Because you had one of the planet Beneath the Planet of the Apes, where they find the big bomb under there. Like, have Mole Man there for that. This is going to be really fun. So this is kind of part of that 20th Century Fox like banner that the Predator books are under and the Alien books. But I think this is a really smart crossover. It does feel like something. If Planet of the Apes wasn't already a thing, that like a Lee Kirby era story of the Fantastic Four going to space and crash land on an ape planet feels completely within the realm of that time. So this sounds really fun. We talked about it before. There's an upcoming issue that has some of the apes, but they have the Fantastic Four powers on the cover.
Or at least they're drawing that. I don't know if that actually happens in the story, but the cover itself makes like shoot, I remember his name. But he's all like rocked out and one of them's on fire. It looks fun.
So why would you do the series and not have that happen? Have an ape Fantastic Four? I don't know, but I'm excited to check this out because again, this is just fun. This is just, don't worry about continuity, don't worry about any of that. Just have fun reading a Fantastic Four story. So don't miss out on this one. We've got a lot of fun covers for this. So this is your A cover. We have a Mobley cover, which looks like Thor might show up.
Okay.
This is leading up to Planet of the Apes kills the Marvel Universe or something.
That's what Armageddon's going to be about is Planet of the Apes.
Well, it'll be Godzilla, Predator, and the Planet of the Apes all coming together.
And Alien.
And Alien.
Xenomorphs,
coming to destroy the Marvel Universe. We have a Jermaine Peralta homage, so that's your interior artist. And we also have a Phil Noto movie homage variant.
Next up, we have a new series from Image called Malevolent. This is going to be an ongoing series, and this is from Justin Jordan, and the art is by John Bivens and Philippe Sobrero. And 30 years ago, we unleashed demons into the world, but no big deal because humans can adapt to anything, even a demon-haunted world. But now humanity has created something new, a weapon that can kill demons if she doesn't kill us first. And I guess maybe that's the she that they're talking about on the cover there. So yeah, it sounds maybe like a fun, like supernatural, maybe like demon hunting book, but maybe with a little extra twist to it, because maybe she kind of goes off the reservation and just starts killing everybody. I'm not sure, but so new book from Image here.
Yeah, I love Justin Jordan. This has vibes of his other book, Spread, which was very disturbing.
He's the writer of Gunpowder Prophets too, right?
Yeah.
Him and Patrick Piazzalunga?
Yeah. Strange Talent of Luther Strode.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Jordan is fantastic. So, especially his independent work.
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait to check this out. So this A cover is from John Bivens. So that's your interior artist. There's a Phil Hester variant. There is a Xander Cannon variant. John Wayshak variant. And a Ben Temple Smith variant.
Yeah, this is another one I'm excited to check out. Next up, we have a new book from Mad Cave. This is Astro Quantum. This is a 5-issue miniseries. This is by Andrea Muti, Arturo Fabra, and the art is by Andrea Muti. Uh, and this is a little sci-fi mumbo jumbo in the solicitation for it because it uses a lot of names of characters we don't know yet,
Yeah.
but it does sound interesting. So, cast out to die on the toxic world of Maku, young Ishmael finds an unlikely ally in the sharp-tongued Solumite exile Queen Keg.
So I'm guessing that's them right there.
That's what I'm thinking. Together, they claw their way through underground bazaars, brutal creatures of the galaxy, and bitter rivalries to chase a destiny bigger than either imagined. A place aboard the legendary Moloch hunting starship Pekyud. An all-new space saga of survival, rebellion, and the hunger to reach beyond the stars starts here. So it sounds really interesting. Sounds like your big sci-fi concepts, big alien stuff, big space adventure odysseys. So we'll definitely be checking this out when it releases. But we've got our A cover right here, and we also have a Burchielli.
That
looks really cool.
Yeah.
That's very like almost like John Carter of Mars.
Yeah. Next is Ultimate Endgame number 2. So number 1 came out a couple days ago on Wednesday, and it's pretty wild. And it's supposedly the beginning of the end of the Ultimate Universe. I'm still a little bit skeptical, but we'll see. And this one doesn't give us a whole lot of information. It just tells us that the heroes of the Ultimate Universe, including Spider-Man, America Chavez, Doom, who we all saw in the first one, but also it mentions Killmonger, who was not in the first issue. So I'm interested to see where he comes from and how he gets involved in this. Yeah. They desperately search for a way to stop the Maker. And so I guess maybe does that mean he's in the dome with them? How did that happen? I want to find that out. Maybe he like snuck in the back way or something.
When it came down for a minute, he was just over the side and he just jumped over.
Just jumped in, yeah. So they're searching for a way to stop the Maker, which is what they were doing in the first issue. And Iron Lad makes a stunning and heartbreaking discovery that could change the fate of the entire Ultimate Universe forever in the 4 months that it has left.
And I feel like that's a little hint to the end of the previous issue, what or who he discovered.
Yeah, I think so too.
But how that's going to affect anything in the next couple of months, I don't know.
Yeah, so, don't miss this one to try to figure out what the heck is going on with the Ultimate Universe, because we have a lot of questions. This is our A cover. There's a Francesco Mobley Foreshadow variant. I don't know why that's called a Foreshadow variant.
I guess just saying that also Killmonger's going to get into the dome.
Yeah, I guess. There's a Lee Garbett variant. There's your upcoming Daredevil artist. An RB Silva variant and a Tony Daniel variant. Ooh, I like that.
That one's really cool. I like the first issue. It's very weird, but it does intrigue me for what's the next issue.
It does what a comic should do, and it makes you want to keep reading.
Yeah, if anything, I had wished that first issue was like a double-sized issue because I felt like, we're just getting started. Well, next up, we have Absolute Wonder Woman number 16. This is going to be a big issue. So a new story arc as Diana confronts Zatanna. And the season of the Witch begins here, which I'm guessing is the title of this story arc. After her exploits in the Area 41 maze, Diana has resolved to not let her personal mission overwhelm the one that she was sent to the surface world to fulfill. But a new threat has emerged in Gateway City, and it turns out the best thing to send to kill Wonder Woman is another witch. Zatanna is here, and Diana's life will never be the same. We saw Zatanna very briefly in a couple of issues ago. And this very mysterious place that she was either being held or whatever. But I'm really excited for her to make her debut because I feel like could be around for the long haul in the Absolute Universe. I love her design. It is very like almost like Vertigo Zatanna. Maybe a little bit like Sandman inspired.
A little bit 80s. 80s goth.
So I think this sounds awesome. This is a lot of people's favorite book currently coming out, and it looks like it is not slowing down at all. And now they're bringing in one of my favorite DC characters, so I am all in. We've got our A cover here. We have our Derek Chew cover. We've got our Gilla March cover, which is really nice.
Those are some big shoes.
Some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, can she walk around in those?
Magic.
Yeah.
that's how you explain any of this. And we
Wow.
also have this Angela Wu
Holy cow.
variant, which is not an artist I'm aware of, but I feel like after this cover, we're going to be seeing a lot more.
Yep. Next up, we have a new book from Ignition Press. This is called Just Brutal. And this is written by Dennis Hopeless and the artist by Brom Revel. And it's about, okay, so it's about, the solicitation was pretty long, so I'll try to shorten it up. It's about this family. And it kind of revolves around a son. His name is Jordan Savage. It's the Savage family, and it's not Fred Savage and what was his brother's name that was on Boy Meets World?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Anyway,
Fred Savage was in Wonder Years.
Yeah, Wonder Years, Princess Bride,
Yeah.
all kinds of The Wizard, which is one of my favorite movies as a kid because that's the first time we saw Super Mario Brothers 3. Anyway, sorry. So this is about, so Jordan Savage is the 16-year-old son of this family. And he's a normal 16-year-old kid. He's barely holding it together after his parents' recent divorce. He has a twin sister named Winter, who is his opposite in every way, including how she is coping with the changes in the Savage family's lives. Okay, so, two kids, two teenagers, and their parents are divorced. All right, so far so good. And those changes are bigger than they could even imagine because they're about to find out that the boring, bickering parents that they've lived with this whole time are secretly ancient, death-dealing barbarian warriors. And they've been living quietly for 3,000 years, having defeated their nemesis, the evil sorcerer warlord, Farklar the Fleshless, leaving the world safe for humanity. Only now, Farklar has returned and his army of hideous Mordorks, are about to devour Des Moines, Iowa. So now the Savages are piled in Mom's minivan, headed for Iowa to wage war against the Black Magic Armageddon. Jordan's freaking out. Winter thinks it's really cool, and no one is sure if Mom and Dad can get along long enough to save civilization from destruction. So it kind of reminds me maybe a little bit of like Kill All Immortals. You have that immortal family. So yeah, you have this, and I guess maybe the kids didn't realize this. I don't think the kids are the barbarians, it's just the parents.
No, I think it's just the parents.
Yeah, they've been living for 3,000 years. They had kids, and then they got divorced, and now they've got to fight their evil sorcerer.
Yeah, it's one of those like classic like family drama is mirrored with this like earth-shattering drama.
Yeah.
I think it sounds really fun, really funny.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. And again, Ignition Press, do not sleep on their books. They are, one of the best new publishers who have come out in the last while. I think everything that they have put out has been really fun, and this sounds like another one of those. So this is our A cover, and I did not get the artist name of the. Is that?
Oh, that looks familiar.
Yeah, but I didn't get the artist name on this one. But this is your B cover here.
Well, next up, I'm so excited about this one. This is The Crown, A Tale of Hell from the world of Hellboy. This is going to be a 2-issue miniseries written by, our comic script by Mike Mignola and Todd Mignola, the brothers, illustrated by Warwick Johnson Cadwell. Hellboy's brothers fight for control of Pandemonium, which, if you've read Hellboy and Hellboy in Hell, you're familiar with the city of Pandemonium, in this demonic family reunion. But it isn't just the siblings who get involved in the power struggle, as their mother returns from her prison for the first time in 100 years, has plans of her own. So Mike Mignola is joined by his brother Todd Mignola in a story about the brothers in Hell, the demon brothers, as they are vying for this crown. So yeah, it's a 2-issue miniseries, and it is a prequel to Hellboy. So Hellboy is either not born yet, or is right there.
Well, that guy kind of looks like Hellboy with the big horns.
Yeah,
is that his dad or something?
Well, he has a lot of brothers that look very similar to
gotcha.
him. But I think this sounds awesome. I am super excited about this, especially because it's kind of back to the core of Hellboy related stuff. This is your A cover by your interior artist, Warwick Johnson Cadwell. And of course, there is a Mike Mignola B cover. And we've seen his brothers and stuff, especially in Hellboy in Hell, once Hellboy goes to hell and confronts them. And they're always really fun. So this is going to be great. Next up, we have Big Event Check-In, and we've got, we're on World Under Doom, but we're still in the middle of DCKO, and we're about to start a brand new one. So we're going to kick it off with...
Yeah, we are going to start with Justice League Unlimited number 15, a DCKO tie-in And in this one, the plot that Neron has set in motion is revealed at last, and the consequences will spell the end of heroism on planet Earth, which aren't they all mostly gone
Yeah, there's
anyway?
not much of it left.
As powered up villains ravage what's left of the planet, the Terrific 10 is whittled down to a handful of survivors, which I feel like it already has
We're
been.
already at the Terrific 7,
Yeah.
and that got
Now
turned
we're down
the
to
Terrific
6. Yeah.
So.
But a handful of survivors who can't possibly withstand the fires of hell. So I feel like maybe like a Superman will be like the last one standing or something.
But after what happened to him the last issue with
that's true, yeah.
The thing that he had to sacrifice to cross the river, this has been so fun.
It's been really, really fun just because I love the Terrific 10. I love this mishmash of time-displaced heroes, and it looks great. Like, Dan Moore is drawing some really cool stuff that we don't normally associate with him. He's drawing like demons and fire pits and all kinds of stuff. The colors are great. Like,
it reminds me
fun.
of his art in Once and Future.
Yes.
Because he's doing a lot of like especially in the last one with the ferrymen and stuff, completely looked like something out of that.
I shouldn't have said we don't normally, because he did Once and Future before all this, and that is very much a supernatural book. I just haven't read it, so I retract
kind of like coming back to his roots with like Klaus and Once and Future.
For sure.
Let's all put the vibes and thoughts out there that somehow at the end of this they will make a Terrific 10 either mini-series or ongoing that has these characters, because it feels so good to have these characters.
It's great. So this is our A cover. We have a Steve Skroce variant. There is an Eddie Barros and Eber Ferreira variant. There is a Chris Anka variant, a Kevin Wada variant, a Ben Harvey sweater weather variant, so we're still not done with those. And there's a Dan Hip punk rock variant, and we'll see a couple more of these throughout the show too.
I always like Dan Hip's when he does like those tattoos on him. So Batman's got like Captain Atom and Shazam and
Black Lightning,
all
Swamp
that
Thing. And...
Well, next up we have Superman number 34, and I love this cover because I love battle damage Superman. Darkseid's plan worked. Earth has been transformed into Apocalypse, and we kind of saw that happen. His Dark Legion prepares the Earth for his imminent arrival, which I'm interested to see what that, because we've seen Darkseid in that like flash forward from the beginning where he's omni everything. You know, he's everywhere at all time, all of that. But also he's in Booster Gold.
Yep.
But also he's planning on arriving on Earth. Is that like after he thinks he's going to be Booster Gold and win the tournament in the Return to Earth?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like he's beyond knowing at this point. So if Superman is locked in the tournament, who can stand up and defeat them? And we know someone else got their powers back, and there's some heroes left on Earth. So I'm, again, one of the best books coming out. Super excited about this one. We've got our A cover here by Dan Mora. We have a Eom cover with Lois. We've got a Rod Race, an Ariel Olivetti. I love this one, Mario Fuccio variant, which I'm gonna have to get because this is like so Dragon Ball. And a Dave Johnson punk rock variant, which feels very movie Superman.
All right, so next we have Flash number 29, and in this one, the Dark Legion chased the Flash and Impulse to a pivotal moment in Flash history, the moment when Barry Allen was struck by lightning. And if they mess up that event, who knows what that could spell for the Flash? But this is still a tie into DCKO. Again, this one is a little bit outside of.
It runs alongside.
It's running parallel to some of the things that are going on outside of the tournament, but it's still been really great. And of course, we know that we're getting a new era of the Flash pretty soon with Ryan North and Gavin Guidry on the book. We know that Wally's going to get back in his red costume, so I'm excited for that.
All is right with the world.
So this is leading all up to that. So this is the A cover. There's a Miguel Mercado variant there, and there's a Sowie variant as well. And then we are going to talk about Captain America number 7. So we're going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show with Armageddon. And you can see a little bit of it here. So this says that Red Hulk's fear of a second Doctor Doom, not literally, but I think like figuratively, a second
Someone
like,
who was going to step up
Yeah.
and try things like he
yeah.
did. And
So Red Hulk's fear of a second Doctor Doom rising from the ashes of Latveria spurs him into taking drastic action, just as Captain America discovers that there are those within the war-torn country of Latveria who see a path to a brighter future. So can Captain America bring their dream within reach, or are there too many forces stacked against him? So, we do know that this story arc is going to involve kind of like a bit of a civil war in Latveria, and it sounds like there's going to be some people who want to replace Doom and be the new kind of ruler of Latveria, but there's like a rebel force kind of wanting to fight back against all that, and then Captain America is going to try to help them. But Red Hulk is going to be a part of this, and we know that or at least I feel like he's going to be part of this Armageddon event. He's on the cover to that free comic book day book. He's going to be part of this story. We've seen in the Will of Doom book what he thinks about Latveria and what his opinions are of them, that kind of thing, and what should be done there. So
actually,
this is really exciting.
It's been set up very well.
Yeah.
Very subtly from the Red Hulk book that we thought was just a fun tie-in to actually being kind of one of the big instigating books of this new event. So it kind of felt like you kind of got rewarded, like if you stuck with that book of like, actually, you're finding out early about what is setting up this big event.
For sure.
And I think Red Hulk works really well as a hero and an adversary because you really understand where he's coming from in this.
Yeah, and it's not like in 2008 when he first showed up and we didn't know who he was, and he's just like he's kind of sort of a bad guy, and they just have to sort of stop him. This one, he's not just a smashing bad guy. He actually has motives, and he has a goal that he wants to accomplish with Latveria. And so I feel like by the time Armageddon rolls around, it's gonna be like we're gonna get there very organically through all of this stuff. So I can't wait for all of this. This is our A cover. There's a Clayton Crane variant. There is a Dan Jurgens variant. There is a Marvel Cosmic Invasion variant and a Todd Knock Iconic variant. With this character is one of the members of the new Shield organization that's going to pop up in whatever the next issue of Captain. I guess number 6. I don't know his name yet, but we're going to get introduced to a new team of new Shield agents. And they kind of sound like G.I. Joe. They each have kind of like their own specialty a little bit. And this is one of those guys, but I don't know his name yet.
Each of their specialty is shield.
Shield, right. Every Shield agent has a shield.
You get one, you sign your paper, say, oh, here's your shield.
Yep.
Use it wisely.
Yep.
Well, next up we have more Essential Comics because there's some really good ones. Starting off with Absolute Martian Manhunter number 8. Number 7 just came out. We're back with Absolute Martian Manhunter for the second half of his run, and there's no other information for this issue other than a hunt for the White Martian. So we're not done with the White Martian.
Okay.
That was the big part in Volume 1, but it looks like we're returning to the White Martians here, so I'm very excited to continue this. I understand about half of it, but enjoy all of it. Then we've got our A cover here. We've got a Deladera cover, and I love this one. This is the Eric Canetti.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so normally we do reprints and facsimiles and stuff at the end of the show, but this one's pretty big. We wanted to talk about this one a little bit earlier. So this is the DC, I love the title, DC and Marvel present Superman and Spider-Man, Marvel Treasury Edition number 28, number 1, facsimile edition. So basically what this is a facsimile reprint of the second Superman Spider-Man team up from back in 1981. The original one was from 1976, and we're getting the facsimile of that next week.
Yeah.
I want to go look at those before we.
They're very nice.
Yeah. But
it's thicker than I thought.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big book.
So this is the second time that they teamed up back in 1981. Written by Jim Shooter and Marv Wolfman, and Big John Buscema is the artist on this one. And in this one, Dr. Doom has long sought to rule the world, and with Parasite's help, Project Omega may very well lay the Earth at his feet. Can the reunited Superman and Spider-Man uncover Latverian Monarch's plan before the planet pays the price? Maybe with a little help from Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk. And I do not remember them being in this story. I haven't read this story in forever, so I don't remember them being in here, but I guess they will be. But Dr. Doom is my favorite villain.
It seems weird to work with Parasite on anything, because I don't think Parasite as a Doom equal level character. I feel like
Yeah.
Doom would be like, I'm not working with that gross
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the reprint of the second one. Like I said, we're getting the first one next week. We're getting the new Superman, Spider-Man in March, I think. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah,
Yeah, March.
yeah. So we're getting that in March, and then that's the DC one, and then there's a Marvel one coming, I think, in April. So lots of stuff going on, but yeah, this is gonna be awesome. So this is our A cover, which was the original cover, and then there's also a is that
Brian Boland, I
is
believe.
that Boland? Yeah, it's cut off here, but that's a different cover to the same thing.
And like all the other ones, and there's a foil of
Mhm.
each and the blank and all
Yeah,
that. And gonna stay on
yeah,
reprints. Because this is another one, especially because these covers, we wanted to put it higher up in the show because there's quite a few variants for this. This is the DC Marvel Batman Deadpool #1 second printing. And just like where we had the Deadpool Batman that had the logo cover,
yeah.
this one has Batpool on it. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be wanting to get this.
I want to see. I hope that they're maybe like slowly, subtly bringing back the amalgam universe, and maybe we'll see
Almost
Batpool
like
and
a new
Logo.
version, like with
Yeah,
new versions of
yeah. Oh my
characters.
gosh.
So yeah, thought people would want to see this earlier in the show, so you can order this. I thought this is really cool. So this is the um, Jorge Jimenez. I think this is just the. Is this the
It's the A
panel?
cover.
But is that the panel from the
I don't
issue?
think so. I think
So
that's the original artwork.
yeah, so this is really cool. But also, they are continuing with the cool mashup covers where we're getting a Jim Lee Batman Wolverine
That's classic looking Batman too, with the yellow oval, the blue and gray. I might have to grab
and the
that too.
Wolverine with the orange,
Uh-huh.
orange and brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some new ones where we have this Ben Oliver with Magic and Catwoman, very 80s Catwoman, and a Derek Chew with Katana and Psylocke. So I love that these weren't used for the first printing, but we're still getting more art with Marvel DC characters
Yeah.
together.
So next up, we have a new book from Oni. This is called Spirit of the Shadows, and this sounds really cool. So it's written by Nick Cagnetti and Daniel Ziegler, and the art is by Nick Cagnetti. And it's about a guy who used to be named Eric Leroux. He used to be a mortal musician, selflessly devoted to his music and his true love, Katrina, until his sudden death plunged his soul into the carnival-like torments of the spirit world. And so now he has become reborn as a phantom with fleeting memories of his previous life, and he's forever cursed to bear the arcane costume that his corpse wore to the grave. So that's why he's dressed like that. Eric's going to claw his way back from the infernal planes to uncover the mysteries of his own life and avenge the dark sins that transformed him into the spirit of the shadows. So this sounds really cool. This gives me a little bit vibes of Dead Man and maybe a little bit of like Madman thrown in, and
Uh-huh.
maybe a little bit like I don't know, the Gray Ghost from Batman or something like that. I don't know, but this just sounds like a really fun supernatural adventure book.
Now I think maybe this had a preview in a free comic book day
Did it?
book because I know I've read a short story with this character,
Oh,
and
I
I
don't
want to
remember.
say maybe in the Oni free comic book day book there was like a couple page story with this
Huh.
character.
Okay. I would like to check that out because this sounds really fun and I love the art style.
Yeah,
So, and that's so the A cover that's Nick Cagnetti. So that's your interior artist right there. There's also a David LaFuente cover. There is a Carl Kerschel variant and a Matt Lewinsky or Lesniewski variant.
which is crazy
Yeah.
looking. Next up, we have Escape from Skull Island. This is by Simon Furman. The art is by Christopher Jones. This A cover is by Maria Wolf, and I was at a con not that long ago and saw this cover in person.
Oh,
The
nice.
like 11 by 17 cover, and Maria Wolf was telling me about working on this. There's actually two versions of this.
Hmm.
One that she did, and they were like, doesn't look angry enough, and so she did a whole new one. So there's actually two versions of it. Just a really cool. Maria Wolf is fantastic. But in this, it's an unofficial, or it's an official, not an unofficial, continuation of the Skull Island animated series. Trapped on Skull Island, a desperate band of survivors struggles against the land's relentless horrors while an ancient threat rises from below. But as chaos unfolds, flashbacks reveal Kong's turbulent youth, his battles, losses, and the primal instincts that shaped him into the island's sovereign. Now, as hordes of monstrous beasts close in on the stranded humans, the most dangerous enemy of all reigns strength to once more challenge Kong's throne. So for you Kong fans out there, the Skull Island fans, this is going to be really fun because there's all the other monsters in it as well. We've got our A cover here. We have a Chris Jones cover, a Yoon cover. That thing is awesome. He's
Yeah.
fighting. A Serge Acuna cover.
I like that cover. That's nice.
Yeah. A blank sketch cover and a black and white of the Maria Wolf cover, which is what it looked like when I saw it.
Nice. Next up, we have a new book from Boom. This is called Good Bones and Other Sordid Tales. So this is from Steve Orlando and the artist by Federico Ceresa, Adam Gorham, and more. So this is from the vaults of the Hello Darkness horror anthology series. This is a special one-shot issue. It says to get ready for a curated collection overflowing with grimy, gritty, and gory grotesqueries by best-selling writer Steve Orlando and a rogues gallery of incredible artists. It's going to feature familiar stories as well as a brand new terror in Good Bones when a house of forbidden love harbors a grudge that's every bit as strong, with art by Dylan Snook. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Hello Darkness series, we had the was there a Christmas one or was it a Halloween like a special?
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then now this is going to be another like special one shot that kind of connects to the Hello Darkness umbrella. So this is our A cover, and there is a Good Heart variant also. Ooh, that looks... It's like Starro.
It
Put
is,
all those
yeah.
little stars on people's face.
Well, get ready for a very funny one. This is Tim Seeley's Super Thick Lucky's Tales #1. I had to include this because I love Tim Seeley. I love Hack Slash and just all of his He-Man and the Masters Universe stuff. This is from Tim Seeley, Troy Dongara, Danny Harrell, and Havin Loop. Hack Slash creator Tim Seeley's sexiest Super Beast returns to Keen Spot, and this time she's thicker than ever, 48-page thick to be exact, jam-packed with stories from Lucky's past and present, featuring some of Tim Seeley's best and most monstrous superhero creations. It's time to get lucky. It includes a pull-out poster, but this is like a fun, like, a bunch of just cool stuff that Tim Seeley created, but didn't really have a place to put it, all collected in one thing. So sounds like kind of a I don't know, like B-sides for Tim Seeley. Right. So we've got our A cover here by Tim Seeley. We have a variant cover by Paula Seeley, his wife, who is a fantastic artist. And we have a cover by Troy Dongara.
Well, next we have Voyeur #4. This is the next to last issue of the series. Unfortunately, I could read this thing forever. But as the love affair between Rook and Madeline heats up, it's time to decide how devoted they are to each other. Are they devoted enough to each other to undertake a major felony? If Madeline is going to join Rook's scheme to rob the Kingfisher Resort of its priceless artwork, she'll have to make a real commitment. But before they can steal paintings, they'll have to steal some time to plan their criminal life together. So, yeah, I mean, this is...
You're going to have to... define the relationship.
Yeah, right. I mean, it seems like they're together, but that is kind of what I've wondered. I think we talked about it before. Is Madeline? She runs an art gallery, and is she gonna leave that life behind to go with him, or what's the deal with that? So this is my favorite book from Ignition Press. So it's so good. This is our A cover, and I did not get the variant.
It's David Baldion.
Oh, is it both of them? Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, next up, we've got Amazing Spider-Man #21. This is back with the Norman Osborn, even though that looks a lot like Peter on the cover.
It does. Well, it's Norman's hair, but all like disheveled, I guess.
Yeah. It's hard to tell Norman when it doesn't have the weird stripes.
Yeah.
So Dawn of the Goblin Slayers Part 2. The sins of Norman Osborn come back to haunt him and everyone he cares about. Norman and the other spiders throw down against Hobgoblin and his Goblin Slayer army, and one of the spiders makes the ultimate sacrifice. So, continuing with this new Goblin Slayer story, we saw the last issue where they were hunting down people who had been goblins in the past. So, yeah, interested to see what happens with this one. We've got our A cover here. We have a David Nakayama Colors block red variant. Nice. We've got I love this one. This is a Libramejo Amazing Visions cover with Spider-Man and Kraven. I would love to see, just like how Alex Ross does those like one-off books of stuff. I would love to see a Libramejo like Spider-Man book. And we also have a Steve Rude cover.
That's fun. Well, next we have Fantastic Four #8. So this is part 3 of the Invincible Woman storyline. The solicitation's a little bit weird because it's written as if Sue Storm is narrating something or writing a letter. She says that back before well, she said I've just become the invisible. This is she says back when she's still in grad school. She says I've just become the invisible girl, and our first encounter was with the Mole Man, and he was the first time that we found it necessary to use our powers. Reed prayed it would be the last time, but unfortunately, that's not how it played out. What happened next wasn't what we thought would happen. It wasn't what any of us thought would happen. I want you to know that I tried. I really did. I didn't mean for things to end up the way they turned out, but there are some mistakes you can't take back, and there's some wounds that don't kill you, even though they should. So that's a little bit weird of a solicitation. Like Fantastic Four is usually pretty straightforward. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, that's written as if it was Sue Storm herself narrating it. So I don't really know what that means. And it's she's talking all the way back to their very first time as the Fantastic Four. So honestly, don't really know how that relates to this at all. But I guess we'll
It almost
see.
sounds like that maybe she did something in the past that she
Pause
thought
this.
was,
Yeah.
swept under the rug, and it's rearing up. So I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this storyline, and
Yeah, I mean,
we voted this our favorite
yeah,
book
I was
of
gonna say,
2025.
if you saw our best of
Favorite Marvel.
2025, this was our favorite book, so I don't even need a solicitation to know. I'm just going to buy this flat out.
Yep.
So this is our A cover. There's a David Nakayama color block red cover. That's really cool too. There is a Marvel Cosmic Invasion variant, a Mateo Lawley foil variant, and a Netho Diaz Black Panther variant.
I love when Black Panther's teamed up with Fantastic
Yeah.
Four. Next up, we got continuing stories, starting off with G.I. Joe number 1812. Spotlight this one because it is another standalone Night Force covert op mission. The iconic Roadblock makes his Energon universe first appearance, but will he be the newest recruit of Lady J and Flint's Night Force, or will he join a different group? So, and I love this cover. Like,
Yeah.
man, where do they find Roadblock?
Yeah, I would love for him to join the Night Force team, and also the quarter box art with just the heads. That's so classic.
Good.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's building the team. I wonder if we're going to keep adding heads to it
that's
because you got
know.
Beachhead on
Yeah.
there. So we've got our A cover here. We've got a Limb cover, and we have a Ben Oliver cover.
So this is Final Boss number 3, and the solicitation actually doesn't really give us any information about this issue specifically. It just recaps issue number 2 about how after his big fight, his big like underground fight in issue number 2, he sort of absorbed this energy from his opponent. A lot like the Quickening in Highlander, if you're familiar with that. It was kind of like that. And it was very like RPG where he's like, whoa, I just leveled up. And then at the end, it showed like his strength went up from 2 to 3, and his endurance went up by 1 point. It was very very RPG like that. And then after that, he got invited to a tournament on an island, and
I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, very Mortal Kombat. Yeah, and it was the island where his grandfather actually got these powers in the first place. And and it just says now he must survive the challenges that face him there. So after number 1, I was like, hey, that's good, but it's a bit of a setup issue. I can't wait for the second one. But after issue number 2, I was like, that's still kind of setting up things. But he went to the island at the end of issue 2. So now I'm thinking that issue number 3 is going to be the real meat and potatoes of this story. But it's fun. Tyler Kirkham, his art is great on this, so I can't wait to check it out. Yeah, it is. So there's our A cover. There's a Raymond Gay variant. Isn't that the artist on
this is the new
Darkness.
Yeah, the ongoing artist on Darkness.
And there's a Brett Booth cover, which looks really cool.
It also just feels very like Street Fighter or like Streets of Rage. Or
I want to see that in issue number 3.
Yeah.
He's taking on goons.
Well, next up we have Capes issue number 3. The heroes of Capes Inc. are attacked. Many will die, but why is spoiler redacted doing this? So if you've read the original Capes, you know what's going on. But if you haven't, get ready for some surprises. And what's the secret origin of Knockout? I don't remember it in detail when I originally read Capes, but I remember that being a really heavy story that I'm looking forward to kind of revisiting all of this. So, of course, we're introducing Robert Kirkman and Mark Englart's Corner of the Invincible Universe, a special remastering of Capes featuring new art and dialogue that will be going up until issue 5 or 6.
6, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember if
6, because it was they're taking 3 issues and spreading them out, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 6.
So I'm really looking forward to where this book is going once it gets through this kind of retelling of the first run of it. But fantastic series, can't wait to continue it. We've got our A cover here, and there's the Mark Englert variant. Is that how you say his name? Englert?
Englert, I think. Yeah, Englert. Well, next we have Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes, number 3 of 6. So we're halfway through here. And it's Harvey and Ivy versus the Joker as the 2-woman revenge squad faces off against their quarry in the grand climax of the first arc of our really cool series. What exciting and romantic developments will occur in this issue, you ask? Maybe some hand-holding, a head pat, butterfly kisses, butterfly knife stabbing the Joker, and then kissing your future girlfriend? We'll have to wait and see, but... this is the series that I didn't think was going to be for me, and I have ended up loving the first 2 issues. So I'm definitely on board to read this one. This is our A cover. There is a Leslie Larrick's Lee cover, and there's also a Marguerite Sauvage cover and a Yasmin Putri foil variant.
There's actually a non-foil version of this as well, but for some reason they didn't have the image of that, but they had the foil, which is just what it actually is going to look like, because you can't see the foil.
Yeah, and I don't know why they made it look like a wraparound cover, because with being like this, because it's not. It's a foil cover, not a wraparound. I didn't realize they're trying on each other's costumes. That's fun.
I always love when they do that. I love when Batman and Superman have to do that too. Well, next up we have Skinbreaker, issue number 5. So this is going to be an 8-issue thing. So we're kind of down in the back half of it. Enoch learns the true cost of being the elder, but at what price? And if you read the last issue, this was kind of the last page of it. So this is pretty heavy, and I don't know where it's going after what happened in the last issue. So I'm very excited. You've got your A cover here, and you also have the David Finch, kind of the headshot variants they've been doing.
Well, next we have Youngblood number 3, and in this one, the Shepherd returns, which we saw him in issue number 2. And he was kind of
in space, I guess.
Yeah, he was kind of like a Adam Warlock type character-ish, maybe a little bit, maybe Adam Warlock mixed with like Silver Surfer, kind of. So the Shepherd returns, warning Youngblood of impending doom. And then as Brigade arrives, the consequences of Xerxes' plan are revealed. Can Earth's future be saved? What is Xerxes' plan? We still don't know. I think Rob Liefeld maybe forgot to write that part of the book, but we know that he's on a big yacht.
He's just cruising on his yacht, and Youngblood said, "Don't do that."
Youngblood are the bad guys in this, because he's just on a boat, right? And they're the ones that start fighting him.
He's temporarily transporting people from the past onto his boat for some reason.
I guess. I mean, yeah, it's been 2 issues, and we don't really know what his plan is or why he's doing it. We just know that he's doing something that Youngblood doesn't like. But what is that thing? Don't worry about it, I guess. So this is our A cover. There's a Don. Wait, it says Don Fraga, but that should be Dan Fraga.
I think it's
right?
Dan Fraga.
Yeah, and a Akari Andrews variant, which looks really cool.
Yeah. Next up, we have Logan, Black, White, and Blood. We still don't have the first issue of this yet.
Right.
Very similar to a Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, but I guess more focused on him with his mask off. A history of violence, blood, and whiskey-soaked tales from the lost episodes across Logan's life in the wake of the First World War. Logan finds himself hip-deep in trouble with a bootlegging operation and maybe a taste for the good stuff, and a revelatory tale by Benjamin Percy and Robert Gill. Logan's days as a secret government operative reveal a startling truth about the Marvel Universe, and an untold mission with Carol Danvers by Wolverine stalwart Frank Thierry and Raphael Ienco. Plus, superstar Mirka Andolfo takes Logan on a job that changes his destiny as man and a mutant. So
that's cool.
These sound really fun.
Yeah.
I like, these tales of like kind of before he was Wolverine.
Yeah,
knocking around.
Yeah.
So, this is issue number 2 of that. We've got our A cover here, and there is a Stephen Mooney variant.
Well, we're going to stick with Wolverine for a minute. We're going to talk about Ultimate Wolverine 14. Now, this is an Ultimate Endgame tie-in. The search for the missing mutants, but I don't know who that's referring to. The missing mutants. I don't know what that's referring to. Have we? Well, we haven't gotten 13 yet, though, right?
13's next week.
Oh, that's next week.
Yeah.
Oh, so number 13 is next week. Maybe that'll tell us who the missing mutants are, because it just says the search for the missing mutants. takes a terrifying turn when Wolverine and Jean Grey discover that the captives may be trapped in Magik's limbo realm, and their mission to find Illyana leads them straight into a brutal battle with the Eurasian Republic's forces, including the devastating all-new Ultimate Lady Deathstrike.
Ooh.
So yeah, it sounds like they're gonna find them they're gonna find themselves fighting the Makers Council maybe.
Because the last issue kind of felt like could have been the finale,
Could have been,
where
yeah.
he walks off with
Yeah.
Jean Grey.
Yeah.
After everything explodes.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing like what's his back half of Ultimate Wolverine
Right,
going to really
right.
be about.
Yeah, so this will make more sense after 13 comes out next week. So this is our A cover, and there's a Pere Perez variant.
And staying on the Wolverine train, we have Wolverine number 15. Number 14 comes out next week, which is kind of the new... it's not a new numbering, of course, and it's not a new creative team, but it's kind of, okay, now we're into the Shadows of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good jumping on point with this next issue. I just know that they've got fantastic Dan Panosian covers, so
Right.
I'm excited about that. Alpha Flight versus Wolverine. It's Department H's premier strike team versus their most famous alum as Wolverine throws down with Alpha Flight. And if Logan can't reason with them, mutant lives are at stake. So one of my favorite things is just Wolverine in the snow in Canada.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're getting more of that. Also love seeing like Puck back. And so I'm really excited. We'll be reading issue number 14 and we'll be talking about it on Monday's show. So we'll know a little bit better about what this new Shadows of Tomorrow era for Wolverine is going to feel like.
I'm just excited for Silver Sable. I love Silver Sable.
So we've got our A cover here by Dan Panosian. We've got a Anedito Hell's Kitchen variant. You're going to be seeing another one of these coming up, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't quite get the... I mean, they're Daredevil related, kind of,
maybe
but they're...
in preparation for the Born Again season 2, but that's not for another couple months. I don't know.
Yeah. Then we also have a Jeff Shaw Black Panther variant.
That's pretty sweet.
That's
I like
pretty
that
cool.
One, yeah.
And next up, we got a cover gallery. Some really cool covers to show you.
This is Detective Comics number 1105, the Bjorn Barons cover with Batman in his containment suit because he's got like a virus in him that is going to make him go crazy. I don't quite remember the story, but it's been a great story. I don't quite remember the details.
This looks like something that they would do a McFarlane Deluxe figure of in that suit. We also have some awesome Green Lantern covers. They've been doing kind of Green Lantern teaming up with different characters. And this is your Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson, where you've got with Flash. It's going to be this issue. And there's a Chris Campagna.
That one's great.
Cover, too. Yeah, that one's really fun.
We have Harley Quinn number 58. This is the David Nakayama cover. We also have an In-Hyuk Lee cover. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
And a sweater weather variant.
I've been hearing a lot of rumors about some big stuff coming to Harley for this year.
Really?
Kind of a new status quo, so we'll have to see. Next up, we have more Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn X Elvira. These always have great covers. So this is your Linsner cover. And we also have the Ben Caldwell cover.
And this is Justice League Red number 6. This is the last issue of this miniseries. And this is the Stephanie Hans cover.
I hope we get more Power Girl after this.
Yes.
Because she's been great in the series. Next up, we have Creepshow, Volume 4, number 5 of 5. So the last issue of this volume of Creepshow. And this is the Milana variant.
This is Lost Fantasy number 7, the Luca Casalanguida sigil variant. I don't know what game... Is this a game homage?
Yeah, this is the big game that's kind of like Dark Souls.
Is it Elden Ring?
Elden Ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that. I haven't got around to that yet.
They've been doing great covers with these.
Yeah. Oh.
Next up, we have, I keep wanting to say He-Man Masters Universe. It's just Masters of the Universe. Or they put He-Man, but it doesn't say it on the cover. Sword of Flaws, 4. I think this is I don't know if there's one more issue or if this is the final one. Yeah, but they have announced that there's a new ongoing Masters Universe series coming this year.
Okay.
I don't want to misspeak. I think Tom Riley is the ongoing artist of it.
The G.I. Joe artist?
Maybe not Tom Riley. There's another Riley.
Ben Riley.
No. We'll be talking about it when it comes up, but
is it not Tom Riley? Is it Tom King? And it's just like the stick figures that he puts on the covers?
No, I'm sorry I know their last name is Riley. But yeah, there is a new ongoing Master Universe series starting. But this is number 4 of Sword of Flaws.
This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 15, the Pharaoh variant. It looks almost like a movie, like
Yeah.
a still from a movie.
I also didn't mention that last one was by Dan Earls.
Mhm.
And then we have Avengers 35. This is David Nakayama, color block red with Red Hulk. Or maybe it's Green Hulk, but they can only use
Right.
red.
Yep. And this is Nova Centurion number 4, the Federico Vincentini variant. We'll be talking about number 3 on Monday.
Yep. And then we've got this other one I was talking about. This is Uncanny X-Men 23, the Ario Anadito's Hell's Kitchen variant. And I guess if Gambit was the protector of Hell's Kitchen, he'd wear
maybe
a
that's
shirt
what it
with a
is?
spade
Yeah.
on it.
I don't hate that, actually.
I don't hate it.
Kind of like
It's a
it.
little big. I think it's a little kind of goofy, but I like the color.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
It could grow on me.
I like that he has pouches on his belt because he could just have decks of cards all through those pouches.
He always keeps them inside his jacket, and I just feel like that's really
fall out.
inconvenient.
Yeah, it's like, how many decks of cards do you have? But if you had all those pouches, and then we would finally know, like, that's the first time I've ever thought, like, oh, that's what could go in the pouches.
Yeah.
It was like cards, yeah.
Yeah, he has stock in bicycle playing cards.
Right.
And we also have this Uncanny X-Men 23 NetEase Games Marvel Rivals variant with Rogue. And we got Bookshelf. We just got a couple to talk about here, but some really cool ones.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this. So, this is Captain Marvel, highest, furthest, fastest omnibus. Okay, so this is going to be $125. Essentially, what this is Captain Marvel by Kelly Thompson, Volume 2. The Volume 1 omnibus came out, gosh, it must have been 2 or 3 years ago, I think. And I think they had solicited the Volume 2 for that and then pulled it. I think. I might be wrong on that. But finally, we're getting the back half of her run of Captain Marvel. I read the first omnibus, and I didn't care for the first story arc, the first 6 issues. But after that, I loved everything that was in it, and I've been chomping at the bit for a Volume 2, and it's finally here, or it will be in June. So this collects issues 27 through 50 of Kelly Thompson's run of Captain Marvel that started back in 2019. Also X-Men number 19 through 21. But it also has the 5-issue Captain Marvel Dark Tempest miniseries. It has the Captain Marvel Assault on Eden. I believe that was a one-shot.
Yeah.
And then it has the 10-issue Captain Marvel series from 2023 that was written by Alyssa Wong. That's in here as well. And I want to say that they pulled this originally so that they could wait for that series to finish up so they could put it all together. But yeah, so if you're a fan of Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel, this is the second half of that, and that's what I'm most excited about here. So this is the Carmen Carnero cover. This is the standard edition cover that is available everywhere, and then there is the Steven Segovia direct market cover that's only available in comic book stores like ours.
And next up, we have the Flash Rebirth compact comic. And this one's really interesting because I'm not quite sure what's all in this. So I'm really excited because I love this era of Flash, the Jeff Johns run of Flash. So this is Jeff Johns, Francis Manapul, Ethan Van Sciver, and Scott Collins with this cover by Francis Manapul. It doesn't list what issues are in here. This cover is from the post Blackest Night. This is like the Brightest Day era of Flash. But Ethan Van Sciver worked on Rebirth, which was at the beginning of this, but Francis Manapul didn't come on until a lot later. I think this is kind of a mishmash. And Scott Collins also was kind of in the middle.
Did Francis Manapul work on Flash before the New 52?
Yes.
Because he did? Okay, because I know
very short. Around the Brightest Day to Flashpoint era was Francis Manapul.
Because he did do it in New 52, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this probably then is Rebirth up until New 52. It's probably
but
everything.
Ethan Van Sciver didn't work on it at that point.
Well, Rebirth.
Well, Rebirth, yeah, I guess this might have Rebirth and then the first few issues between that.
Because Rebirth was in like 2009, and then New 52 was 2011, so there's not all that much. There's not that
you'd
much
just
space.
be skipping the Blackest Night issues of Flash.
Maybe.
And then, because Jeff Johns wrote it, but when New 52 happened, it was Brian Buccellato, who was the colorist for Francis Manapul, was the writer, and Francis Manapul continued on art. But all that being said, this is a fantastic era of Flash. This is so good.
Yeah, it's all that good stuff. that came out before the New 52 and was supposed to go in a whole different direction,
Yeah.
and then the New 52 kind of derailed all that stuff. But yeah, this is a good era for Flash for sure. I mean, especially
and for $10.
For $10, that's the thing there. I might get this one because I don't think I have any of these in a physical form.
Yeah.
So I might grab this one.
This is a great one. Also, if you have like kids and stuff who love Flash, this just feels like a lot of almost like the CW Flash era.
Yeah.
It's like Barry running through the city, taking on the rogues,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's really, really fun. And that is it for Comics in the Future. We talked about our second printings earlier in the show because they were kind of special ones.
Yeah.
So this is Comics from the Future, a big return for 2026.
We're back.
Back with a bunch of books to talk about. Monday we'll have a bunch of books to talk about. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed your holidays because it is back to your regular scheduled program.
Yeah, your regularly scheduled comics buying routine.
But I'm very excited because 2026 is already shaping up to have some fantastic stories and some really big surprises.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff coming this summer we don't know about.
Yeah.
And you can watch coming up, we're going to be doing a look forward to what is coming in 2026. That's going to be a special episode that we do probably this coming week, talking about, you know, the DC
Next
level.
I'm so excited for everything that DC has coming starting in March.
Yep.
Following the end of DCKO.
Undimensioned Marvel's Armageddon event.
Armageddon,
and
yeah.
We really don't know anything from Marvel from Armageddon forward. There's a lot of rumors and speculation, so that's going to be fun to pontificate about. Plus, we've got, of course, the Superman Spider-Man and Spider-Man Superman. All of that awesome stuff we're going to be getting. Vertigo returning.
Yep.
So make sure you join us for that because I'm looking forward to just like looking at all the news that we've been getting and compiling it and then talking about that coming up.
Yeah, we don't know much about like the second half of 2026, but the first half of 2026 is gonna be awesome. And that's not just like us trying, like we're fans of comics and we're so excited about so much of the things that are coming.
Yeah, so make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Make sure to pre-order your comics at infinityflux.net so you don't miss out on any of these books, their variants, all of that. And thank you for watching. And here's to 2026 and a bunch of awesome comic stuff. Bye.